everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Essence. And yes, I am wearing a brand new blanket. Value World. $12. It's a very comfy velvet sheet. Oh, I sleep so great with it. So I wanted to make this video because it has come to my attention that there are a lot of young ones out there who they're starting to grow up into young adults, and some of them might be thinking about spirituality and what they want to pursue in that regard. Because, I told you guys that I've always been spiritual since I was younger, but it wasn't until it was like the end of my junior year of high school that I really started trying to look for something that I felt I belonged into. And there was a class where once you finished the work, you could go on the internet, and I would use that time to look at different websites to try and find a religion or spiritual path that I completely aligned with. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it. But it was a long, long process to try and figure out what I could align with. I looked on YouTube. Oh, sorry guys. Oh, it's late. But I looked on YouTube. There were many different channels, spiritual channels that I looked up that were very interesting, and it brought me slowly closer and closer to magic and sorcery. But in terms of witchcraft or Wicca or, the other magical spiritual paths, I couldn't align with one completely. Like, I ruled out Wicca because while I do agree that, love and light should be shown to those who deserve it, they do not believe in hexing people. They allow karma to do the work for them and are able to patiently wait for that to happen if it ever does happen. And, for some people, I can see that, but if they are truly asking for it, I am glad to call myself karma, and I want to zap their ass. Witchcraft, you think I would align with witchcraft. I mean, because witchcraft was all about similar things to Wicca, because witchcraft is far older than Wicca is. Wicca is a new age religion, while witchcraft has been practiced for centuries through many different cultures. So, in a way, I do align with some things, like the use of magic and their rules. The threefold rule, I am not entirely sure. And a lot of people like to, say, beware the threefold rule. Watch how you act, because the threefold rule will get you. Same thing when I made the video about karma. I'm like, it's not something you should be afraid of. You do you. You try to be your best self, and you move on. But anyway, it has occurred to me that, there could be kids right now, young people, who are in my position that I was in high school, and this video might pique their interest, just like there were those that piqued mine. And I did make a video about beginners, about, what I would say to them. And I would like to keep that going because, it's hard to really say everything I want to say in one video. So in this video, I want to specifically talk about how to get started exactly with spell work. There's all these new people coming into the spiritual path that are looking for spells that are already out there, believing that you must find a set spell from others rather than looking inward. to one's own power, or as I have come to know it as inner Awen. And if you are watching this and you are new and don't know what I'm talking about, Awen is the spark of life. She is associated with the power that is within us all. She lives in the hearts within everyone. Many people go their whole lives without knowing how to access their inner Awen. But as I was taught by a goddess named Caridwen, that to access her, you don't speak to her, you feel and listen. Which may not make sense now, but in time, if you progress on your spiritual path, when you do, you'll come to know. Because it's hard to describe, especially if you're new. So many people, like myself, when I was looking for videos of magic and spells, I was looking for spells to try. And there were many different spells out there from many different people, each one with their own thing. The one thing that I was under the impression was that a spell had to rhyme. Because in the fairy tales, the spells always rhyme. And then, Cinderella. Selicadoo, la michicaboo, la bippity boppity boo. Put them together and what have you got? Bippity boppity boo. Right? Well, I immediately was told by people who wrote articles that, it doesn't have to rhyme, but it's okay if it rhymes if that's how you want to play it. Which I did make a few spells of my own that did rhyme. But they did say as well that while there are spells that witches allow you to use freely, it's very important to create your own spells. Because when you create your own spells, you have a more intricate connection, an intimate connection with the spell itself. It is of your energy and no one else has access to that energy but you. Which I found very interesting. So, even though I do have certain books that have like already made spells in them, which I haven't really tried too many of them, I have mostly wanted to make my own spells only. The spell books that I bought were merely for like template use to help me create spells and give me inspiration. One time I might try some of those spells, and if they do work in my favor, I may add them. I haven't created my own spells in a long time, but that's mostly because I have been relying a lot recently on prayer and manifestation, and that's what I would like to express to any newbies to the spiritual path who are watching this. Creating your own spells is a good idea. If you want to borrow from a sorcerer or a witch who has allowed public access of their own intellectual words and spells, have at it. It's just, I think it's a good idea to have a set of your own spells that you have worked on yourself. When you first make them, they may not work at first because they don't have much energy attached to them. But every time you speak them, you envision in your mind and feel the emotion in your heart what the outcome should be. And the more you use it, the more energy is attached to those words. But I do want to express, most people tend to look down on spell work that is incredibly simple and gets to the point. Mostly because they feel like it is a weaker form. And this weaker form, I say loosely, that they tend to overlook is prayer. Most people, especially new people, believe that prayer is only for religion. Or, a lot of people, when they think prayer, they think Christianity comes to mind, which, yes, Christians do utilize prayer and they don't use spell work. However, what a lot of them might not understand is that prayer is spell work. It's a different kind. It's known by another name that has been used in the witchy community, shall we say. Manifestation. You are praying, either saying aloud or thinking it in your mind, what you want to happen. And you are feeling so much in your heart that you want that to happen and how bad you want it to happen. Prayer, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, it is simple. I mean, technically, you do not have to necessarily write down a prayer in order to get it to work. You just say what's in your heart. And you can say a prayer to many, many things. You can say it to a particular God. You can say it to a spirit. If you believe that your ancestors are watching over you, you can pray to a specific ancestor. Though I would definitely look in the family tree to make sure that particular ancestor was a good person. You don't want to be praying to no bad people. You can say it to nature itself. If you believe that everything around us has energy and is actually conscious, you can do so. I do believe that nature is alive and watching. What I have chosen to pray to recently is the One, the Creator on high. As some people might come to refer to him as God, but when most people say to God, they think the Christian God. So I just call him by the One. And I have been praying to him because while I do and have prayed to different deities from different spiritual paths in my time, the One embodies all. And to have a more intricate connection to him, I have been solely praying to him. And I will continue to do so. And in time, I will try to reconnect to some of the old gods that I have prayed to in the past. And maybe even try my hand at praying to some other ones. Some new ones that I have never had contact with before. So, to summarize, for all the newbies out there, if you're wondering about, what's a good spell to use for a beginner, or how does spell work even work, or, I'm just so confused. Spell work is quite simple. It is a set of words that you empower with your own thoughts and emotions by feeling in your heart the emotions that you want to convey, which is for the words you're speaking to affect whatever you're trying to affect, and seeing in your mind's eye that it is happening. That's it. And you don't need to create no intricate spells to make magic work. The stronger you feel these feelings, and the more frequent the frequency of this energy that you give these words, the more likely that it will work. And you can pray. Prayer has been utilized in many cultures, different spiritual paths and religions. It is a universal thing. So, if you are struggling and wondering how to go about spell work, I would start with prayer and then steadily work your way into creating your own spells, and just write down what you want to say. If you want to rhyme, you can rhyme. Doesn't have to rhyme. as long as it conveys the right message. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please put it down in the comment section down below. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that bell button so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Have a good night, everyone. Bye-bye.